Let's get into the crazy stuff, man. I've been wanting to talk about this, and it is about Diddy. It's about Puffy. There is a new sexual assault lawsuit. No surprise here, but this took legs of its own because of the different aspects of this lawsuit. It's no longer females. This is a male suing him for sexual assault. Yes, a male. First, let's go over what Diddy has had to say about all these lawsuits that's been going on. Diddy, who was recently accused of sexual assault and misconduct by multiple women, is now claiming that he is a victim. A filing by his attorney, Jonathan Davis, on Friday, February 23rd, paints the mogul as well as former Bad Boy Records president Harvey Pierre as victims of cancel culture frenzy in the courts. Diddy and Pierre are both defendants, along with unnamed third assailant, in a lawsuit filed late last year by the anonymous woman who accused the three of gang rape in her in 2003 when she was just 17 years old. The new filing is in support of Diddy's motion to dismiss the suit while making clear that defendants have categorically denied plaintiffs' allegations. The majority of the memo argues that the case should be dismissed because it wasn't filed in time. Now, that's before this recent new lawsuit came out. So, this lawsuit is a producer by the name of Lil Rod. He presented a case, and this lawsuit is just utterly insane. I'm going to go over it right now, break down some of it for you guys. I'm not going to break down the whole thing, but break down a little bit because it has like a bunch of files. Like you can go find the lawsuit online. It's easy. But let's go over it. Producer Rodney Little Rod Jones has filed a bombshell lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of embattled media mogul of sexually harassing and threatening him over more than a year. So this is recent. This isn't something in the early 2000s, the 90s, or the early 2010s. This is recent. Where there's smoke, there's fire. If there's something recent coming out, this guy hasn't changed his ways because he's never been held accountable for his ways. That's basically how I'm viewing this. Threatening him over more than a year ago, as well as securing footage of Diddy and several of his associates involved in illicit behavior and alleged sexual assault. Jones, who seeks $30 million in his federal lawsuit, named several high-profile figures in the entertainment business in the complaint, but only Diddy's son, Justin Dior Combs, Universal Music Group chief executive Lucien Charles Grange, former Motown Records chief executive, Ethiopia Heberton, Charles Records Studios, record labels, and Diddy chiefs of staff, Christina KK, Column Love Records, and Combs Enterprise, a bunch of people basically on labels, are named as defendants. The network of involvement Jones claimed amounts to a violation of Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, a RICO. They got a RICO on Puffy. The Chicago-born producer who produced 9 songs on Diddy's 2023 Love album, Off the Grid, filed a lawsuit Tuesday in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. In the 75-page complaint obtained Tuesday by The Times, his attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn said that Jones' life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. He agreed to produce the album in August 2022. Jones alleged that he was under an implied work for hire agreement with Combs, and that he lived with the recording giant for months at a time in Combs' home in Los Angeles, New York City, and Miami, as well as several weeks on a yacht rented by Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album, the complaint said. That Combs required Jones to record him constantly. The multi-instrumentalist, describing himself as a heterosexual Christian man, alleged that he was a victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. We've seen Puffy slap Jay-Z's ass at the Screamfest 2007, and was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances, expressing his complaints to Diddy chief of staff, who allegedly told him, "You know, Sean will be Sean." No, Sean will not be Sean around me. Sean touched me and my pee-pee, and I'm blasting. I'm slapping. I'm punching. I'm fighting. Fuck the producer role. Fuck everything. Sean will not be Sean with me. I'm telling you right now. If somebody touched me inappropriately, and the fucking assistant said, "This person's just this person. That's just a person." No. In response, Blackburn described Coram as the Giselle Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. Yep, we're getting to Jeffrey Epstein levels here with Diddy. If you don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is, just break it down pretty easy for you. This guy was a pedophile that had a whole sex trafficking ring with children and did all kinds of crazy stuff with them. So this is the levels that we're getting to with Diddy right now. This is what this person is comparing what he's experienced with Diddy, by the way. He also alleged that Combs tried to groom him into engaging in sex with fellow producer Steve Aaron Jordan, Stevie J, and promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexuality. Let me read that again. Look. Promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexuality. What have people been saying about the award shows, especially the Grammys? It's mainly about ties. It's about the music industry. It's about who loves you, how well connected are you in the music industry. Well, what is this? This speaks volumes of that. Anyways, continue on, because I'm not going to go into that. Quake, don't do it. Don't do it. Because you go into that, you're going to open a whole can of worms, and then everybody's going to be on there. No. So let me just go on. He also provided Jones with alleged footage of people involved in sexual activity at Combs' home, which Jones believes was procured through hidden cameras throughout Diddy's properties. Now, I'm going to keep going, but there's some evil shit that Diddy's done. And mind you, all the shit that he's going to allege accused of is evil shit. But there's, like, this reaches cynical, like Joker. Like, you know when Diddy was dressed as a Joker for Halloween? This reaches, like, he's not dressing up as Joker. He is the Joker. He's a fucking psychopath. So let me go over some stuff. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties, the complaint said. Upon information and belief, due to his treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and is untouchable. Think about what this is saying. This is saying that Diddy, Puff Daddy, a.k.a. the Booty Bandit, recorded everybody that had cameras all over his house and recorded everybody that attended his parties. And if they did anything, he held that footage and used it essentially as blackmail to that person if he didn't get what he wanted out of that person. You know how fucking evil that is? You know how evil that is? That's I can't even put into words. That's insane. This is Jeffrey Epstein type stuff. Like, this is what Jeffrey Epstein, quote unquote, allegedly had. He had a bunch of evidence. This is the rumors of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they killed Diddy, because if he actually has this evidence and Diddy decides to save his own ass, he's going to present that evidence to everybody. Then he could potentially he could be not a hero in this situation, but, throw everybody under the bus with him. Why not? This shit is getting crazy, man. I don't even know if that has a soundbite, man.
He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
I do. And I nailed it first try.
He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
So, I don't know, man. This shit's getting wild levels of crazy. And I'll get into the Meek Mill stuff a little bit later, because a lot of people are attacking Meek Mill right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is the stuff everybody should be talking about. The Meek Mill thing, we'll talk about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll talk about it. But this is the stuff we should be talking about. Continuing on. Jones also alleged that he was sexually assaulted by a cousin or assistant of rapper Young Miami. Young Miami is Diddy's basically girl that he's with right now currently, and she's been tweeting about, I'm on a yacht, we're having fun with Diddy, we're on this yacht, we're at this party, we're doing all kinds of weird shit, and she's attacked academics for attacking Diddy. And Young Miami, who has dated Diddy, was sexually harassed and assaulted by Oscar winner Cuba Gooding Jr. and obtained footage of the rapper and an R&B singer whose names have been redacted from the complaint, consorting with underage girls and sex workers. This is insane. This is insane. They're saying underage girls. Diddy's lawyer just recently. So I want to make Diddy's side clear here too, because I don't want to side just one side and you know assume things out of people. But let's go over what Diddy's lawyer just recently said on TMZ. Let me see. Come on, TMZ. Where you at? You just dropped the story. Why is it not here? Why is it not here? Okay. Let me just find it right here because I was just looking at it on the Instagram page. This is what Diddy's Puff Booty Bandit said. Or his lawyer said. So let me read this for you guys quick. According to TMZ, Diddy's attorney says a couple individuals who are identified as minors in the salacious lawsuit filed against the mogul are not minors at all. They're fully grown women. Sean Hawley tells TMZ 2 women have come forward to clear the air after they saw their images included in Rodney Jones's explosive legal claim from Monday, where he alleged everything under the sun against Diddy, including claims of partying with underage girls. There are photos included in Rodney's lawsuit that purport to show a party that Diddy threw last summer in L.A., and some of the images show Diddy and his son Justin around some women with captions characterizing them as minors. So they're saying they weren't minors at all. These were fully grown women. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Do with that information as you will. But this guy claims they were minors, the person that's suing. And, of course, sex workers, which we've heard, Diddy be involved with over and over. This continuing on, this is what the lawsuit says. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity, man. The complaint said, which includes screenshots of several of the incidents mentioned. So if you look at the documents, this person actually included screenshots of a lot of things. There's moments of Diddy shooting somebody, literally, like blood all over. I mean, it's not like a photo of Diddy actually popping a gun, but there's blood all over this like bathroom. It looks fucking crazy. It looks like somebody got shot or something happened. And there's photos of him dancing with women. Names being mentioned, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Continuing on, the producer said that he suffered irrefutable that the producer said that he secured irrefutable evidence of illicit activity, including Combs providing laced alcohol beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes. And the rapper's acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, as well as display and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. Jones said that he was at the Chalice Recording Studios in Los Angeles when a shooting took place on September 12, 2022, and accused Combs of giving him strict instructions to inform the police that Combs had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. The suit describes G as a 30-year-old friend of Justin Combs. Jones alleged that he still has bloodstained clothing he wore that day while helping the victim and provided screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot by either Combs or Jay Combs. Mr. Combs is obviously Diddy and Jay Combs is his son. Jones also accused Karam of instructing her staff to retrieve drugs so she could provide them to Combs for his consumption. He also said the footage also shows Diddy's son, Christian Combs, drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Additionally, he accused Combs of detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. That rape and abuse lawsuit filed and settled in November began Diddy's perpetuous fall from grace over the past several months. Since then, Diddy has been accused of sexual assault by additional women and stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt TV, the media company he co-founded in 2013. Jones, who previously made a public plea on social media for Combs to pay him for his work on his album, accused Love Records, Motown, and UMG of being unjustly enriched at his expense. In a Tuesday statement, to the Times, Combs' attorney Sean Hawley called Jones a liar and accused him of shamelessly looking for an underserved payday. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction simply did not happen, and nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines, Hawley's statement said. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Blackburn refuses to return our calls. Hawley said, we will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. So they got Diddy's lawyer has kind of a point a little bit. Jones claimed that Diddy basically lied to him, stole money from him, and laughed in front of his face. And there's actually video footage that the producer, Lil Rod Jones, aka Jones, released of Diddy laughing in front of his face of not getting paid fully for his album. So first, I want to let you guys know about 3 major versions of Diddy that people in the public have said he is, basically. And I've broken it down to these 3 because I want to do a documentary on all 3 of these versions. I want to do a 3-part documentary, basically, highlighting these 3 versions of Diddy. I might just do one part, but just put it, they're actually 3 versions, but they're just put into one documentary. So there is Diddy the abuser. That's the sexual assault claims. This is beating women up. This is all this stuff. There's Diddy the abuser. There's Diddy the murderer. Yes, the murderer. Shooting, like this bathroom incident, shooting somebody. Rumors of him getting his wife killed. Rumors of him putting a hit out on Tupac. Rumors of him getting Biggie killed. Rumors of him being involved in all kinds of different stuff, putting hits out on people. All that stuff. And then what was the third one that I had? I had it right here. So Diddy the abuser, Diddy the murderer, and Diddy the manipulator. This is where the manipulator Diddy comes out, where he lies to a lot of producers, engineers, artists, whatever, about them getting paid, and they never get paid. So there's Diddy the abuser, Diddy the murderer, Diddy the manipulator. I don't know. These are all allegedly, by the way. Now, this guy seems to have a lot of evidence. He posted some photos of the stuff on the lawsuit, on the actual documents. There are photos. And the interesting thing is there's people mentioned that automatically got tied to Meek Mill. They mentioned that Meek, it didn't say Meek Mill, though. That's the thing. It didn't say anybody's name. It just said a popular Philadelphia rapper that once dated Nicki Minaj. Well, who's from Philly? Meek Millie. And then who dated Nicki Minaj that's from Philly? Meek Millie. So, come on, man. That clearly says it. And then there's something like an R&B singer portion, and people are just kind of tying it to Usher. But I don't know. That could be really, Diddy's worked with a lot of R&B singers, so that could be something. But yeah, it's. Let's just say this stuff is looking bad. So I want to kind of elaborate more on the Diddy the manipulator side. Because I'm working right now on Diddy, basically the murder with the Diddy $1 million hit documentary, which is coming out. I promise you guys. Sorry for the constant delays. I was supposed to come out in January, didn't come. Supposed to come out in February, not coming. It's coming out in March, I promise. First, I'm focusing on the Diddy the murderer side a little bit with that Diddy $1 million hit. But I want to do focusing on all 3 paths, because all of these 3 paths are utterly insane. And I might have to really censor a lot of this stuff down because it's such violent topics that YouTube's not going to let that shit fly, especially if I go over the sexual abuse stuff and the murder stuff. Like, that stuff is just going to... The manipulator stuff is a little bit more clean because it's like music industry, stealing royalties and whatever, all that stuff. But those other 2, a little bit more explicit, more, vulgar, I guess. So if I do all 3 of them, put them in one documentary, I'm going to have to do like a really clean version for YouTube. And then the Patreon's going to have that uncut, obviously. Hitmaker, a.k.a. Young Berg, he details a moment when Diddy basically fucked him over. Actually did it twice. Diddy fucked him over twice. So I'm going to play the clip for you guys. This is Diddy the manipulator. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This is Diddy the manipulator. And we hear stories about this all the time. And listen to the silence of Joe Budden. Joe Budden does not want to speak bad about Puffy. Something is going on behind the scenes with Diddy and Joe Budden. Because look at the silence there. He doesn't even acknowledge that any of that happened. He said, maybe you were talking about somebody else. Maybe it might have been a different person. No. Come on, Joe. This is my problem with the mainstream powers in hip-hop right now. Drink Champs, Noriega, says nothing. Joe Budden, nothing. Breakfast Club, nothing. Shame on those 3 major platforms for not speaking on these things. That just shows you how powerful Diddy is in a lot of these situations. And it's unfortunate. But continuing on, here's a clip that the producer that sued, Lil Rod, producer that sued, he posted a clip of Diddy laughing in front of his face that he didn't get his publishing and money. Let me play it.
I run shit. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his pub. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent. Go ahead, because I run shit. I run shit. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his public.
There you go. Says, I run shit. He's laughing in front of his face. Doesn't care. Mind you, this is a guy that at one point are as close to basically worth $1 billion. Come on, man. That guy helped you produce, helped you put pieces together on your project, and you just completely destroy his livelihood. And mind you, this goes back, all the way back. We're talking Bad Boy Records. We're talking Mace. We're talking Black Rob. We're talking everybody that was involved with Bad Boy not getting their things. And we talked about this earlier in 2023. I think it was actually late in 2023 when all the publishing and stuff was set to get released and nobody got paid properly for anything.